Giant TCR Advanced Pro Zero Bicycle Review. But before we start, please support us by pressing the like and subscribe button so that we can continue to provide the latest information about motorcycle and bicycle trend. Also turn on the bell button to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. The Giant TCR needs no introduction, but here's a quick one anyway. Designed by British maverick inventor Mike Burrows, the total compact road has been a regular fixture in the pro peloton since the 1990s. It's actually not a fixture of the pro peloton this year, but this latest version of the TCR, which adds aerodynamics to its traditional high stiffness and low weight thanks to the compact design, was ridden by Greg Van Avermaet last year in a glorious gold/black fade. Giant TCR Advanced Pro Zero, frame and fork. Giant has the Propel as its aero bike and the TCR as the lightweight all-rounder, but, as with Scott's Addict and Foil, the two are edging closer together, with the TCR adopting the tube profiles and integration of its slipperier stablemate. The head tube, down tube and fork all get an aero makeover. Even the massively wide down tube is optimized for airflow when a standard bottle is fitted, according to Giant. However, it keeps its sloping top tube and doesn't drop its seat stays. There's still that very recognizable Giant TCR silhouette. This consumer version has a separate seat post, unlike the flagship TCR Advanced SL0 that has an integrated seat mast. The other main difference is that this bike costs almost half the price of the flagship model, and that's not just because it has an Ultegra D2 group set and Giant wheels rather than SRAM Red E-TAP AXS grouped and Cadex wheels. Giant uses its second-tier carbon to bring the price down. The advanced grade composite will be slightly heavier and not as stiff as advanced SL grade composite, but as we'll see, the ride quality of the lower priced bike is exceptionally good despite this, and the weight is very respectable too. Giant hasn't gone to town with cable integration on the TCR, even on the flagship model, which is possibly a little surprising since the Propel was one of the first road bikes with an integrated cockpit when it was unveiled in 2017. But this will be good news for home bike fitting and for those who don't necessarily want to cut their fork steerer and commit to a single position for the rest of the bike's life, short of buying a new fork, as round spacers can easily be swapped under or over the stem. Our test bike's stem has the steerer already cut, as Giant asked me for my setup measurements in advance of sending the bike, but you'll get some adjustment room on a new one. There's also more traditional routing for the rear brake hose and D2 cable, emerging from the handlebar with a short exposed run, causing minimal disruption to the airflow before disappearing into the side of the head tube. As for the geometry and sizing, the ML is a 56 in old money and has classic 73 degrees parallel angles. Stack and reach are well judged and don't present any fitting issues, a ratio of 1.43, which is about average for a race bike this size. The chainstays are short at 405 mm compared to the standard 410 mm, helping with responsiveness at the rear. Giant still makes the TCR in a rim brake version, almost a rarity for a top race bike these days. Components. A full Shimano Ultegra D2 group set is par for the course at this price. We've reviewed it very favorably elsewhere, so we'll leave it at that. As is also standard, there's the 52-36 chainset and 11-30 cassette that give all the range you need for the majority of road riding. But the ace up the TCR sleeve is the Giant Power Pro power meter on the left-hand crank, something that none of the other three bikes we tested at the same time, the Specialized Tarmac Expert, the BMC T-Machine SLR2 and the Scott Addict RC15, could offer. This is something that's not strictly essential but really nice to have. Who spends £5,000 on a race bike without being interested in how many watts they can produce? Bought separately, the Giant Power Pro equipped Ultegra chainset costs £799.99, so you're definitely getting value here. The Giant SLR 142 disc carbon wheel system is a 1,200 pounds, sub 1,500 grams set of wheels with the latest hookless rim tech, something Giant is fully committing to, and are the lightest, fastest, most expensive wheels on any of the four bikes in our group test. With a 42 mm rim depth front and rear, they came set up tubeless with Giant's Cadex Road Race 25 mm tires, which again, are high-end. The Alu bar and stem are Giant's own Contact SL components, 42 cm and 110 mm respectively with the size ML. And the stem came with a bonus out front computer mount, which was a nice touch. As I mentioned, bar and stem are traditional, separate components using industry standard measurements. Yes, the cockpit is not as clean looking as that of the Scott or the Specialized, but it makes adjustment that much more straightforward. Personally, I would always opt for ease of adjustability over aesthetics or single figure watt savings.
Thanks for watching.
Drop a like, leave a comment,
and don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.